Alright, this is vegeta8259, and we don't really get to sit down and talk like this very often, so I figured this was a good a time as any to do that. My last project, High Grade Kshatriya, which is actually right there, I mentioned in the video where I showed that off that I had done a large bit of airbrushing for that kit. And basically I'm just making this video to say that I'm gonna be switching primarily to airbrush from now on. You know, why should I bother telling that when I could just say it in the video? Well, there are a couple of reasons. There are a couple of reasons why I'm switching, and there are a couple of reasons why I'm telling you. The reasons why I'm telling you are, one, is that I do a lot of like tutorials and I give out a lot of advice and stuff like that, and a lot of people ask me about you know, what brand of paint I use, and you know, what specific color of spray can paint I use and all that stuff. And not that I answer stuff like that very often, because I don't think that you should concern yourself too much with brand names and specific color names. But I'm not going to be able to do that anymore, because I'm going to be pretty much just mixing my own colors and using those with the airbrush. So I'm not going to be using spray cans anymore. Actually, that's not true. I will be using spray cans for primer and for top coat, but that's probably about it. Is anything that's like actual color, I'm going to be using through the airbrush from now on. So I'm just telling you guys this so that you'll know that, you know, if I do a kit 2 weeks from now and you ask for a specific color that I used on that kit, I'm probably not going to be able to tell you, because it's likely a color I mixed up myself. Because so far what I've done is I've bought pretty much just the primary colors: red, yellow, blue, black, white, and silver. And with those 6 colors, I'll be able to mix up any color I need, with the exception of gold, which I'll still be using a spray can for, because, well, anyway, that's another story. I can't find gold paint in a large paint can like I found my other colors, so I'll probably just stick to spray cans for gold stuff. Anytime I paint gold, it'll have clear yellow on top of it anyway. But I don't know, it's kind of, I have mixed feelings about switching to airbrush, because at one time I'm kind of excited about moving on to bigger and better things, but at the same time feel kind of bad that I'm leaving spray cans behind, because, you know, ever since I've been on YouTube, I've been known as the spray can guy. I mean, I'm the guy that I've spent a majority of my quote-unquote gunpla modeling career, you know, trying to convince people that yes, you can get really good results out of a spray can. And I still think you can. You can get great results out of a spray can if you know how to use them effectively. And I've been using spray cans for years and years and perfecting my technique with the spray can. And I think I've reached the point where I can't do any better with them. I think I've reached the maximum potential that spray cans are capable of. Because, you know, for a long time, most of the time I've been working on Gunpla, with practice, one would expect their paint jobs and their skills to get better and better gradually with time, and that's what's been happening. Except for in the past, I don't know, 6 months or so, since spring. I've still been, you know, obviously painting kits and all, but I just felt like my paint jobs haven't been getting any better. Like, I've been practicing and I've been painting Gunpla, but I'm not getting any better. And I've been, you know, I've used spray cans just about every possible way that you can use them, and I can't make them look any better than they do in my last few projects. So I think that's one of the main reasons I'm moving on to Airbrush is because I just can't do any better with spray cans. I've reached the maximum potential of what they can do and what they're capable of, so I have no other choice but to move on. So as far as actually the equipment I'm using, right now I've got a really crappy airbrush. This is it. Cost about $30 at Hobbytown, USA. I would not recommend it at all. It's basically it's siphon fed, which means the paint is in the bottom, gets siphoned up to the top. External mix, which means the paint and the air mix outside of the airbrush. And basically this thing is almost as good as a spray can, or just about as good as a spray can. As far as pulling off like airbrush effects like gradations and pre-shading and stuff like that, this thing is not very good. This is what I use to do the pre-shading on my high-grade Kshatriya, and while technically it did work, if you get up close, go to my Flickr gallery and get some good close looks at that Kshatriya, and you can see the spatter of the paint where I did the pre-shading. You can't really tell it on the video, but if you look at the up-close photos, you can tell that you can actually see the paint particles, and that's just not acceptable. So I have ordered this past weekend a newer, higher quality airbrush that's gravity fed internal mix, which hopefully should give me better atomization, which means finer paint particles, so you won't be able to see the splatter marks like you do on Kshatriya. And hopefully with that I will be able to achieve some really nice gradation effects that are very, very hard to pull off with this piece of crap. I've had this for, I think, 2 years. Like I mentioned in my Kshatriya video, I think this is my third airbrush I've had, all three of them being like less than $50. And I've basically, up to this point, until Kshatriya, been using airbrush as if it were a spray can. If I couldn't find a color I wanted in a spray can, I would just mix it up myself and then use an airbrush for it. Wasn't doing any fancy airbrush tricks or anything, just basically using it to deliver custom colors to my kits. But now I really want to get out of this rut I'm in, where my progress is just kind of leveled off and I'm not getting any better. I want to keep getting better, and I think the only way to do that is to upgrade my modeling technology. Anyway, let's see, is there anything else I wanted to mention? I am still using Rust-Oleum. Actually, I'll show you. Now, the good thing about Rust-Oleum is that it's, actually several good things about it. It's very, very high quality paint. It's extremely durable. The colors are very, very bright. And not only does it come in a spray can, it also comes in 1 quart just cans like this, as in for brushing paint. And this is what I've done. I've bought red, blue, yellow, black, white, and silver. And this is enamel paint. And basically, I'm going to be using this to airbrush, thinning it out with paint thinner. And I had very good results with it on Kshatriya as far as the paint goes. The bad results with the splatter was due to the airbrush, not the paint itself. So, yeah, I'm going to be still using Rust-Oleum. I'll still be using the same El Cheapo primer that I always use. I'll still be using the same top coat that I use. So, yeah, I'm still using the same brands of paint, just the delivery system will be changing. What else? Every single time I make a video, I feel like I'm forgetting to tell you something that's important. Anyway, please just don't ask for any airbrush tutorials right now, because even though I have been using Airbrush for years, I still really consider myself a noob with Airbrush. Um, I am certainly not the one that would be qualified to give anybody any sort of airbrush tutorial. There are lots of people on YouTube that are much more experienced with it than I am, so you can search out those people and ask them for help if you have any questions with airbrush, because right now I'm still in the learning process, so I'm not really in a position to give any advice on that. So I guess that about does it for this little chat. My next project should be high-grade Universal Century Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode. Today is Tuesday. I might upload this on Wednesday, I don't know. And it should be getting here on Thursday. And hopefully at that point I can start working on that. And yeah, I don't know, I just kind of gotten this high-grade kick lately. I've always said that I like 1 to 100 scale kits better, but for some reason I just feel like doing 1 to 144 scale high grades all of a sudden. I can't explain it. So I guess that about does it for this video, and I will see you guys next time.